All right, unit 4.8, the last of unit 4. 4.8 is about rhombi, which is rhombuses, multiple rhombuses, rhombi, and squares. All right, I'm going to be going fast in this video because I'm trying to shrink down the amount of information in the videos. So if you need to slow it down, or if you need to watch it multiple times, do that. All right, rhombi have the same properties as parallelograms. So opposite sides are congruent, right? Opposite angles are congruent. Consecutive angles are supplementary, which means it has to equal 180. And diagonals bisect each other, which means they cut each other in half, right? We're adding a few new rules. The first of those is that all four sides are congruent. All four sides are equal. Congruent. So, a rhombus is kind of an off-center square, right? So it's a square that's been knocked over a little bit, right? Right? But all four sides are congruent because technically it's still a square, it's just off-center. Right? The second rule, diagonals are perpendicular. Diagonals are perpendicular, which means that when they cross each other, they create 90-degree angles. Right? So the diagonals, when they cross each other, they create 90-degree angles. All four of these are 90 degrees. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. And the last rule is diagonals bisect opposite angles. What does that mean? What does that mean? All right, so you have the corner angle. I don't want to put it as a box because it might not be 90. All right, you have this angle, and the diagonal line cuts it in half. It bisects it. So whatever this is, it's equal to this because we cut it in half. And that applies to all four corners. All right, let's see how to use this information. Each quadrilateral below is a rhombus. Done. We know we can use the rules of a rhombus. All right, let's see what we know. JK is 12. JN is 7. These are all distances. They do not have the degree symbol. All of your questions are distances. It does not have a degree symbol. All right, JM. Right? So our first new rule is that all four sides are congruent. So if J to K is 12, then they're all 12. So J to M has to be 12. J to L. We know diagonals bisect. So if this piece is 7, then this piece is also 7. So J to L is 7 plus 7, which is 14. And then we have M to N, this piece. How do we find that piece? Do we have any triangles we can work with? Well, we know that the diagonals are perpendicular, which means it creates a 90-degree angle. So we have a right triangle right here. We have A, B, and C. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 7 squared plus B squared equals 12 squared. 49 plus B squared equals 144. Subtract 49 from both sides. B squared equals 95. Get the square root of both to cancel the square, and B equals 9.7 maybe? So M to N, if B is 9.7 and we cut it in half, this is also 9.7. So m to n is 9.7. And m to k is the total. So it's 9.7 plus 9.7, which is 19.4. All right, watch it as many times as you need to, and then come get the handout for number 2. Once you have your smiley, come back to the video. We'll do number 3. Given r to t is 22. The total is 22, which means this is 11 and this is 11. And u to s is 18, which means this is 9 and this is 9. Let's see if we can answer any of the questions. V to T, 11. U to V, 9. R to S. This is our question mark. Do we have a right triangle? Well, we know that this is a 90-degree angle. We have one side, two sides, and an unknown. C is our unknown. All right, so A, B, C. So 9 squared plus 11 squared equals C squared. 9 squared plus 11 squared equals C squared. So 81 plus 121 equals C squared. What's 81 and 121? 202? It's 202, right? It is. All right, and then the square root of 202 is 14.6, I think. 14.2. I rounded wrong. It's okay. Right? So if this is 14.2 and all four sides are congruent, then all four sides are 14.2. All right? Before you come get a handout, do number 4. And then you're going to get a handout from number 5, because it uses both methods. All right? This one's all about angles. We see the angle symbol. That means our answer should have a degree symbol. Let's go with what we know and work our way from there. If this is 38, alternate interior angle says 4 is 38. We're still dealing with a rhombus, which means our diagonals bisect. So if 4 is 38, 5 has to be 38. If 5 is 38, 3 has to be 38. Alternate interior angles. We've already got a good start. We also know that the diagonals create 90-degree angles, the perpendicular, right? So 8 has to be 90 degrees. So if we know this one is 90 and this one is 38, what's this one? So 90 plus 38 is 128, and it has to equal 180. 128. So what's that? 52? 180 minus 128, is that 52? So if 6 is 52 degrees, and we bisected it, 7 has to be 52 degrees. Alternate interior, 1 and 2 have to be 52 degrees. Just use your logic. That's all I had to do to get all of them. All right, so now you have to put these two together. That's why I had you do 2 of them before you came and got the handout. Come get the handout for number 5. Feel free to draw another shape so that you can do them separately, right? That way you can do them separately instead of getting confused. Once you have your answers for number 5, come get your smiley, and we move on to squares.